Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald, Second Swing Golf here at the Tour Van at Second Swing Minnetonka, joined by Emma Carpenter here for a very fun head-to-head iron comparison. New this year in the fall of 2024, the Mizuno JPX 925 iron series, specifically the Hot Metal Pros of the JPX 925. And we have Emma here because she's been playing the JPX 921 Hot Metal Pros for, what, 3 years now?
Yeah,
maybe more than that?
4 years.
Yeah,
even? Yeah.
So it's been a while, so clearly that you like them if you're not switching from them.
I love them.
So,
I love them. So my game got better when I started playing them.
So we wanted to do a little head-to-head test here with the newest version of them here in the fall of 2024 versus something that's, I guess, now probably 3-4 years old. So I guess, first of all, what have you liked so much about that iron? And then we'll kind of transition to maybe what you first impressions are of this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I just love the look. The second I started playing the Mizuno iron, say at least 30% of the golf swing is confidence in how you swing it. So if it feels really good in your hands, it looks really good at the golf ball, you're gonna make a better swing. I really liked how long I hit them. Same thing with the confidence, like even if it is longer because they're a little bit stronger lofted, which they are. I mean, if my 7-iron is going 175 and I get to hit 7-iron as opposed to a 5-iron, I feel a lot better about it. I feel like I can hit it in way tighter to the flag. So, but then I've also been able to spin them really well. They very consistently have landed and stopped on the greens for me or just run out a couple of yards, if anything, with a longer iron. So yeah, I mean, they've just felt really good, been real reliable, and my dispersion got better, all the things, right?
So that's what's fun about today is, maybe we persuade Emma to switch irons. I don't know, that might be a stretch, but we've got the newest version here. We can kind of take a quick peek at the difference in how they look. You can see some of the changes there. They've cleaned up a little bit, but the shape is largely the same, right? You've got this kind of patch in the toe here, a little bit thicker here for some forgiveness there.
You could show the camera.
But yeah, and then we can, I don't know how far the camera is going to be able to zoom all the way. We could give them an angle on that. But this club also does not have the wear mark that yours does, which is actually really impressive. Someone clearly is at a high level playing golf with those irons. So what we're going to do today is just have you hit both irons, talk about the difference, and if there's any feel difference, maybe there's a performance difference. And then we'll just kind of come back and, I don't know, maybe you'll stick with those irons. Maybe you'll upgrade to here. Maybe we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, and the shaft is...
It's different, yeah. So that's the other piece. The JPX 925 Hot Metal Pro that I have was just a stock model sent to us by Mizuno. It's the DG 105.
Which is really good.
So I mean, it's a good shaft, but it's not yours. 15
grams heavier than this one, but that's actually what I need. Last time I talked to Larry, he said that he wants to move me up into a little bit of a heavier shaft. So there's a chance that that's what I need anyway. So we'll see.
You've got the KBS. It's a 90 right stiff. So slightly different profile there, but
not too different though.
I'm curious to see this, even just your feedback on the feel of this thing and how it looks and all those little things that golfers are always obsessed about. So all right, let's do some testing here.
Let's do it.
It didn't sound like it was perfect, but it still went out there plenty fine.
Yeah.
It sounded like you maybe I don't want to say if it was maybe a little bit fat. Maybe you caught the mat a little bit first.
It was almost like I caught the ball first, but like got stuck in the mat for a second.
Yeah.
Like it didn't really feel like I chunked it, but it definitely felt like I grabbed more mat than I wanted. Makes no sense. I don't know.
It is different in here hitting versus in the driving range or on the fairway.
A chunk feels way different.
It's a little different
on the mat than it does on the ground. I kind of chunked it again, I think.
All right. So right away, I can just kind of see what you like about these irons.
Yeah.
First of all, I know those weren't even like I could tell you didn't love either of those swings.
No.
But they're still going out there, carrying 170 to 180 in that dispersion. And again, those are two very similar golf shots. So
right, and those
plenty of stopping power over 48-degree landing angle is plenty.
Yeah, so. And that's like those both did not feel good, and that one was 25 feet right. So that's really not that bad. And the head definitely does not look small when I look at it, but it looks like thin enough. Like I'm not seeing the back of the iron when I put it down.
I know that was one thing you made a comment on with the swing report of the hot metal, the JPX 925 hot metals.
That was not good either. Maybe it is time to switch irons, huh?
Well, interesting that you say that again too, because it's the same carry distance.
Yeah.
You just missed this one left, but it's the same exact carry distance. You're right.
Just a baby push, but pretty good swing.
Now, how'd that one feel?
It felt pretty good. I wouldn't say it was like best ever, but like felt pretty good.
Yeah, you definitely got a little more pop on that one. See, it's kind of, you can see on the map here, it's a little bit further.
Right.
You probably hit it, what, 6-7 yards further carry?
Yeah.
So yeah, that one definitely further. I'm interested. I'm curious on that spin. Is that? I'm wondering if that, as we hit another couple shots here, maybe, and then test it against.
That's really low spinning.
That is low spin.
That should not.
Oh my word! Did you catch that one good or what?
That's the thing with these irons. I was kind of explaining it earlier. It's like when I catch one good, it goes like really far.
Yeah. I mean, so you gained, another 5 yards with that carry, which again isn't crazy, but if you're, let's say, because what do you play this club typically on the course, to carry?
I play it to carry like in a tournament when I have a little juice. I play it to carry like 178.
Okay, because that makes sense because you said you didn't love how you hit those first few swings and they're at a little over 170. So you maybe lost a little bit there. And then this last one you hit pretty solid, 177. Yeah. And now you're at 182. So. But what I'm curious about is the spin on that one was just about 5,000.
Right.
And this one was 37.87. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah, maybe hit one or two more.
That could be user error, Drew. That's gotta spin more. No, it didn't.
That's still pretty. I mean, it's higher than the 37 or whatever that was that one shot. That's still pretty good. I mean, if that's again.
What's an ideal spin rate?
So, I don't know if there is an ideal spin rate.
Yeah.
It depends on what the player is looking for. I know they say, I know our friend Mark Brooks on a video from maybe a year and a half ago gave us that kind of formula of the club number times 800, I think is what he said.
Yeah.
So, which is not perfect either, because ultimately if you are hitting these irons on the course and you are seeing that the ball is stopping for you, and it's getting high enough for you, and clearly you're hitting the ball high enough. There's not a question about that.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with that.
And around here, with the greens that you're probably playing and the rain that we keep getting, you're probably not having issues with the ball running off the green with like your 7-iron.
No, never. Right. Yeah.
So it's the spin rate is, it's not a huge deal. Actually, for someone that hits it as high as you, it's probably not. It's probably better to have it a little bit lower because the wind will affect it less. So,
yeah.
If you were up at 7,000, 8,000, it would be like, okay, we maybe need to control that a little bit.
Right. See if I can get a straighter ball. We got right misses and left misses, so we see what those do. There we go.
Yeah, you smoked that one.
That should give a pretty good indication of. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta ask for it. You just gotta ask for it.
That was as dead straight as I've seen. 1 foot of curve, and you also ended up 1 foot off the center line. So.
Yeah, nice.
And if you say 178 is your number, so you're probably right on line, just a little short based on the carry. But all right, so we've got some numbers here to look at.
I said I need the tournament juice. You know.
Yeah. I should have put some more pressure on it. So this is 7 shots, and we've kind of already noted that there were some good swings. There were some, as Emma would call them, not so good swings.
Yeah.
I think a lot of golfers would that are watching this would absolutely love to have your bad swings as their good swings, just based on your misses went probably 4 or 5 yards short of where you want them to be. Let's see.
I do really like that the ones that I felt like I missed, kind of like a little bit of a toe-y push. Even if they did curve to the right, I still did get that distance, which is pretty nice. Like I never really have had problems of having like a big short right miss. Obviously, I would prefer short right to long left. Yeah. Always, but it's nice that I can still kind of get it out there when I do have that miss.
Yeah. Most golf courses are more forgiving on the short right than the long left.
Right. Right. For a right-handed golfer.
Yeah, so here's kind of our baseline with your gamers, and these are pretty good numbers here, right? Because you're hitting the ball. You said 178 is your target, and honestly, to be a little short of that is probably very normal and pretty darn good actually. Because the last thing you want is to be expecting the ball to go 178 and you hit one and it goes 187 and you're wondering.
Yeah, totally.
So 174.2 carry average. The total it reads on here is 184. Granted, if you're hitting onto a soft green, it's probably a lot less than that.
Yeah.
The height at 105, landing angle 48.3. Those are very good. So I can see why Larry fits you into these irons.
Yeah.
They fit your swing. They give you plenty of launch. And then you said you were looking for distance too, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to get your 7-iron, 8-iron, 9-iron out there. And you can definitely do that.
Right, and I'm at the point now where when I switch irons, which obviously is going to need to happen at some point. Maybe it'll happen today, but I'm okay with losing 5-6 yards because I really do have plenty of distance with the irons.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
I was
totally
gonna
fine.
say, you probably hit the ball with at least your irons farther than almost everybody you play against in tournaments.
Yeah. It was definitely, I would say, my strong suit is my iron game. Like I said, my proximity to the hole was really, really solid when I was playing a lot of competitive golf from like 160 and in. Like, I wasn't necessarily that much better with wedges than girls are so good with wedges, but like because I got to hit 8-iron, 9-iron pitching wedge from 130 to 170 almost.
Instead of like 5-iron.
Yeah, okay. Like I got to really, really dial it in. I could hit it so high from that distance.
Sure,
so that was
yeah, that
really
makes
good.
sense. Yeah, but these are good numbers here. Now I'm curious on we'll have Emma hit now the JPX 925 Hot Metal.
I can't believe I'm almost swinging up on it,
So this is
Drew.
basically, it's the same series, same model, but 2 generations newer. So new shaft here as well. This is the Dynamic Gold 105 S300. So it's slightly different than what Emma was playing. All right, so first swing there.
I didn't catch that great.
Didn't catch it great?
No.
I did suspect that based on the spin and the distance.
I didn't catch that great.
What do you see shape-wise? Is that much different than what you were playing, or is it pretty similar from address?
It looks almost exactly the same, which I like, but it's just not as big. Like, it's just like a smaller, thinner version.
So it's smaller than what you're used to even?
It is.
Okay.
But I actually like it. Like, it's exactly, I feel like I can do more with it. That was pretty solid.
Struck. Okay, interesting on those first two. The spin is definitely higher so far than your gamer, which
is that expected?
Another reason for that could be your grooves being as used as they are too.
Probably.
It could be. So take that into consideration as well.
No kidding. That was hit really solid.
Yep. Plenty of launch on that one. All right, I think the grooves are the difference here. That is a really good golf shot.
Wow, that felt really good.
Yeah. I mean, you hit that as square, I think, as you can. I mean, you're 3.5 feet off of the center line.
Right.
1 foot of curve. I think those are that's pretty close to, those are your numbers right
there.
Yeah. Pretty good. I mean, I think what's happened, if I were to guess, and someone that knows more than me can correct me, but I think over time, I bet your distance with your irons has actually increased slightly just because of the grooves wearing.
Because of the grooves.
It has taken some spin off. I think that's fractionally. Like I'm talking just a few yards.
Yeah.
But I think that has happened over time. Because I've seen 3 swings now with these, and I think I'm almost ready to jump to that conclusion that
Drew Mahowald, master fitter.
The fresh grooves are giving us some more spin here.
That felt so good. Oh my gosh. See, now I want these.
Yeah.
Ooh, that actually drew a little bit more than I thought it would.
Little draw.
Yeah.
Spin went down and then that does happen too. So a draw will take down spin a little bit, and then a fade will increase spin a little bit.
Right.
But that's another really good swing there.
Uh-oh, bigger dispersion, like in terms of distance.
Yeah, that first one really down here was kind of
that was bad.
That was the big kicker, I guess.
Yeah, at least it still went straight, but yeah, that was.
Yeah, and we should note too. It's funny because the TrackMan will zoom in, right? This is actually it's a pretty small dispersion, all things considered. It just looks like it's huge because of how zoomed in the scale is. Geez, another one, really high ball speed.
That felt really good.
Yeah, that is a really good golf shot too.
It's going really high.
It is. Yep. And I think that's part of that is the spin. So I know we got a few more shots yet, but I mean, the spin, we're talking, 800-900 RPMs difference right now.
Dang. I need that, Drew. I need those RPMs.
One thing I want to see here too, if I can, we'll see if it registers here, but.
Oh, I'm hitting it on the toe.
Well, you're doing the same with both, so it's not like I was wondering if there was a big difference in impact location between the two clubs that TrackMan's reading, but it's not. So interesting. Okay.
That's definitely been my miss lately. I can feel that it's on the toe. I just kind of chunked it.
That'll take down spin then. Yep.
Yep. I can't believe that went as far as it did with how I chunked it.
Yeah.
And straight.
A little forgiveness there.
That's gonna go right.
Okay. 25 feet right.
Drew, you're so nice. Every time I'm like, oh man, it's going left, it's going right. You're like, that's not bad.
I think it's just that left and right to you is still straight for me. When I hit right or left, you would never even think that's possible.
That's so funny.
That was smoked. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Really good.
Where's the impact on that one?
Let's find out. Yeah.
Slightly closer to the center.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, it also, again, if we wanted to go high-speed camera, slow motion, maybe the TrackMan's slightly off and you actually are hitting these in the center.
Oh, now you're really being nice.
But I don't know. But I will say that, yeah, that's a pretty good dispersion. You're within the entire.
It feels really, really good.
So, yeah, let's break down these numbers here. We've got, I think, 7 or 8 with each one. So this is, to recap, Hot Metal Pro JPX 921 fit to Emma's swing from a few years ago to now a JPX 925 Hot Metal Pro. We talked about the shafts being different. She's playing KBS 290S, and the 925 Hot Metal Pro has a DG 105 S300 in it, so slightly different profiles there. So this is as much maybe of a shaft comparison as it is a club head comparison in a way.
It's doing what we would expect, right?
Yeah, so I think a lot of this is really similar. The big difference is spin. And we talked about different possibilities as to why the spin is so much higher. It could be to a degree that maybe Larry gave you even a little bit stronger loft, and there could be a loft difference.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was.
We've talked about the grooves being different, fresh grooves versus your 3 or 4 years old grooves. But as you look at these numbers, is there anything that jumps out at you, or anything that you're really surprised by, or anything that catches your eye?
I'm surprised at the height. I thought that I was hitting this one a lot higher.
It's actually funny that your gamer was launching higher, just at launch, and then I think so it launched higher, but I think the new one launched lower, but the spin brought it up higher.
Right, because the landing angle with this one is higher, so it's like.
Yep, it's definitely it's a whole degree steeper.
Right.
So, yeah, that's definitely different. But I mean, I love that the club speed and ball speed are basically the same.
Yeah.
So you're swinging it the same, and the ball speed itself, you're not getting any faster off the club face with the new model necessarily. Your misses may have been a little bit faster just based on the smash factor being a little higher. But then more spin, which I guess you would have to decide in your game if you want that more spin.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely, I would. But
because I like this series of shots right here. 5 of your 7 are very close together right here.
Yeah.
With the 925.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah, this miss.
I think that was one I chunked.
Yeah, so this miss was, a concern. And even this one, I think this is one that you maybe didn't love either. But that's not by any means out of play. And then this one, and the only reason this one would be out of play is if you had a hazard in front of the green or something.
I feel like what you would expect to see when you do go to a smaller, thinner head is the misses wouldn't be as good. That's the whole idea with a game improvement iron. You can hit it anywhere on the face, and it's still gonna go far, go relatively straight. But this one, you have more options, the kind of shots that you can play. So it definitely makes sense that when I missed it with this, it wasn't quite as good. But what I did like is that my left misses weren't as strong. Like that one long left miss I had with my gamer is a real concern. Versus this one, when I missed it left, it wasn't as bad. You see how that one went like another at least 5-6 yards.
Yeah, this was the only ball today that you carried over 180 yards.
Yeah.
And then these ones, I mean, this is your farthest carry with the new model, and it was 177.
Right.
And then the other ones were, you had 170, 171, 172, 175, 175 again. Yeah, 175 again.
Yeah.
So very consistent.
Right.
And again, that's probably partly due to the grooves again.
Yeah.
So just being as consistent. You get worn grooves, and that little flyer can happen more often, I think.
Well, I tell you what, like this feels a lot better. Like this does feel a lot better. I'm not even just saying that. I really like the way that this felt and the way that it looked. I felt like with the bigger head, something about it just makes me want to hit it straight versus this one. I was kind of like, okay, little draw, little cut. Like it feels a little bit more like you can be more athletic with it and the way that you want to work it, as opposed to just having the bigger face.
Because you're at the level where you will want to hit draws and cuts and high fades and low punch draws with your
if you miss the ball off the tee way left and way right, you got to figure out how to work it back onto the green.
That's a good point. I know how that goes. So, again, this is not a fitting per se. Just wanted to compare the two, but it's if we see Emma playing JPX 925 Hot Metal Pro irons soon, I think this would be the day that conversation started. So I don't know. We're not going to press you into a switch now, but just wanted to get some numbers in front of you and see what happened.
Yeah,
so, I thought it was pretty fascinating here. The spin is certainly. I think it's a good thing because I think irons are becoming too low spinning in general.
Yeah.
And so to see the spin, comfortably high for what you need, I think is a good thing. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And I almost, kind of like how we were talking about, I almost would have expected this to go shorter, if anything, which it looks like it might have gone just a couple of yards shorter. But
yeah, in total and carry, it was like 3 yards off.
Yeah, which is practically nothing, given that I only hit it like 6 times. But I would think that a smaller head would be higher spinning, go a little bit shorter.
Sure.
So I loved what I got out of it.
Yeah, well, that was good testing. That was awesome.
Cool.
The JPX 921 Hot Metal Pros that Emma plays versus the brand new Mizuno JPX 925 Hot Metal Pros that are being released here in the fall of 2024. Pretty fun head-to-head there. Emma now has a decision to make on if she's going to upgrade or not. So,
what do you think my decision is?
Tell us in the comments. Should
exactly.
Emma make the
What do you think? You
upgrade
think I'm
or
gonna switch?
That's perfect engagement right there. So golfers, leave your comments. Tell Emma if she should make the upgrade or not. Subscribe to the channel. And Emma, thanks for joining today. That was fun.
Yeah, thanks so much. That was super fun.